Okay, so I wanted to go over the some of your mistakes that I've been reading on your project reports, especially in chapter 1 and 2. It's always the critical. Okay, I see a DIT guys here. I see one guy. One group is here. That's good. So, anyways, yes, we see a number of issues, and usually, if your chapter 1 and 2 is not set, their entire document becomes completely um, what you call it, it gets out of focus. You kind of miss exactly what you're supposed to be doing, and you're trying so hard to avoid that. That's the reason why we want to emphasize on the on your chapter 1 and 2. A lot of the reports that I've been getting so far, and then the comments that I've sent to you guys, you obviously notice that the issues are coming from the way you guys are putting together your problem statements. You've noticed that if you don't define the problem that you're trying to address very, very well, when it comes to chapter 2, you start basically talking about all kinds of stuff that has got nothing to do with the problem that you wanted to actually address in your chapter 1. Okay, so it's very, very important that you really, really state out your problem statements, because those are bottom line the challenges you want to address in the entire document from chapter 1 to chapter 6. If I'm not mistaken, 5 or 6. It's all that you want to do. So if you don't tell us exactly what you want to, what the problem is from the onset, then you're gonna have challenges trying to, write about it. Okay. So I've got some few of your reports that I want to go through, so you guys can catch on to actually get an idea of exactly what it's expected or what I'm expecting from your work when it comes to your chapter 1 and 2. Uh, a lot of the weight when it comes to the grading stems from chapter 1 and 2. And even during the presentation, when it comes to defense, if your chapter 1 and 2 is not stated very well, you're gonna notice that the supervisor, the panel will start giving you a headache because you've not really stated out clearly what exactly it is that you're trying to solve and how you plan on solving it. It's always the same. It cuts across even at the master's level and a PhD level. If you can't define the problem very, very well, you would have a problem trying to basically write the entire document or trying to convince us that this is a problem you want to solve. Okay? So your chapter 1 within the problem statement is very, very important. It's key to your entire chapter 2. I've noticed some of you write just tiny lines, tiny paragraph, just one paragraph of some few lines for your chapter, for your problem statement. And then when you come to chapter 2, you don't have much to talk about. You even don't talk about the problem at all. You start talking about all kinds of stuff that's got nothing to do with your problem statement. So the question they keep asking is, so what exactly it is that you're trying to solve then? Because your entire chapter 2 should revolve around your problem statement, you elaborating on them, using literatures from various sources to back your argument. Okay? So that's very, very important. We have to get that straight. Like I said, cuts across at the PhD level, master's level, the same thing. They're going to ask you the same question. What is it that he's trying to solve? So if you don't identify the problems very, very well, you're going to have problem with your entire document. And it's always the same, with students. So I'm going to go some few of your reports over here, and then hopefully we can clear up some of those misunderstandings and also address issues that needs to be taken very seriously within the report. Okay, so this is one of the groups that I got their report from. I'm going to start with that one first, and then move on to other ones as well. I indicated on the platform that always include, always try to include your title page. It's very, very important for me so that when I need to look up exactly um, what it is that you are trying to do, I can easily go up to a title page and look it up. With this over here, obviously I have to go back to my Excel sheet to try to figure out what the project title is about. Okay, so guys, always include the the title page like this right here. Let me see if I can find an example. Uh, so yeah, so this right here is what I mean. This include the title page. Okay, always include the title page so I can see this. Okay, with your group members and what have you. I need this title page all the time for any submission that you email to me. Always include it. It's quite important. You can even incorporate your table of content as well. Perfect. Okay, like this guy actually did. Uh, so he's got his title page and then table of content. So you can see um, the various headings and the page numbers as well that I should be looking out for within my review. So yeah, please try to include this. At least if you can include the table of content, which I think you should be doing because it helps you out a lot in the long run. You should at least include this. If you don't want to include it, the table of content, at least this always has to be part of your submission for every single submission, whether it's chapter 1 or chapter 2 or chapter 3 or chapter 4, chapter 5 to the very last end reference. Always include this. Okay? And this one as well as the reference page as well. Okay, so guys, please, I can't overemphasize this. I need this. I don't have to be going back and forth through Excel sheets trying to figure out what the title of the project is. Okay, like what we have over here. I have to figure out what it is that you're trying. Every single time I see a document, I want to have that title page so I can be able to reference the topic from. Okay, and I've said this over and over again, but some of you still keep doing that. I don't care whether it's you're resubmitting your review, your corrected reviews. Always include it. I don't think it would hurt for you to just include that. It wouldn't take anything from you, including the title page. It doesn't take anything. So please, I want to see that every single time. If I ever come across another document that doesn't have the title page, I'll just ignore it. Don't make my work too difficult. Make it just follow the simple order or instruction. Include a title page. Okay? So these guys did a pretty good job by including a title page and then the table of content as well before the chapter 1 started. So that's what I was hoping to be seen all the time. This is what I want to be seen actually. Like I said, if you don't want to include a table of content, it's your cup of tea because you're going to be the one struggling with it. When you're done with your documents, ideally you should always be updating them as you go on with the documentation write-ups. But this always has to be there before you do submission to me or review. Okay? Okay, so the introduction, just a brief intro about the topic. Okay, just brief intro about the topic, and then you go into the background of the study itself. The background is supposed to elaborate more about the your title. Okay, where you give a lot more for your literatures on some few histories or whatever behind your topic. And that shouldn't take you more than 3 to 4 pages to put together. You can go above that, but the key thing is just be brief. Okay, because chapter 1 is all about it's all more about introduction, and you telling us what it is that you're trying to accomplish and how you want to go about it. It's maximum of what, about 8 pages, 5 to 8 pages maximum for your chapter 1. Okay. Now the emphasis is on your problem statement. Now within your final year projects, you are not supposed to be bulleting information or your write-ups. Bulletin is really not advisable in your reports. So bullet points like this, and everything's supposed to be in paragraph. You're supposed to express yourself. And one thing I need to point out is that your entire report is about you. We're trying to figure out how well you can articulate your English vocabularies, how you can defend arguments or make valid points and back them up. And you can't do that in a bulleted point. So ideally, they always specify that you write sentences in paragraph instead. Do not bullet your arguments. No, put them in sentences instead. So like for these guys over here, I see a whole lot of bulleted points. No, put them in paragraphs. So assuming that this here is one problem, put in a paragraph, one paragraph instead. Are we catching on, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, put it in a paragraph. Do not bullet it. So this is not allowed. No bulleted points. Write sentences. Express yourself in English within paragraphs. Okay, that is what is expected of you guys, to write sentences in paragraphs. Okay, so if you have about 4 problem statements, put them in 4 paragraphs. Are we good? Okay, so here you have a number of, but now from over here, what I've noticed within what is actually stated within the bulleted points as the problem statement, I can summarize some of these to just 2 major problems. Let's go through some of these, for instance. So the first thing he said was many times students in GCTU miss out on information from the university administrators and their lecturers because of the dissemination and the flow of communication within the university is relatively very poor, basically. Abysmal, it's poor. That's what he's saying. So the problem here is information flow is poor. That's all that he could have just expressed within a good paragraph. That's what needed to be put over here. Okay, so that's what I'm getting from this entire wording over here. Information relay between students and the university administrators or various departments is quite poor, or is very, very poor within a university body or within a university community. That's what he's trying to say here. So that's one of the problems. Now let's move on to the second ones. Due to the problem of poor communication, a lot of internship, part-time jobs, scholarships, and other opportunities pass students by. This still falls under information flow being poor. So this technically is not a problem statement. He's just talking more about the fact that we have poor information flow within a university between students and a university body or the university authorities. So this is not even relevant. You can elaborate this problem here by adding some of these stuff to it as a way of basically breaking it down why information flow is terrible or is poor, and some of the issues that arise or some of the opportunities that gets overlooked, by adding these to this one instead to form just one problem statement. within a paragraph. Let's move on again to the third one. Students also miss notice announcing changes in lecture time. The same issue. If you notice, the same issues. Oh, it's all still about what? Miscommunication or poor information relay. Are you catching on, guys?
Yes, sir.
So yeah, so this is still part of what? The first bullet point. It hasn't changed. So the problem has not changed. You get it? So all of these can be what? Grouped under this within one paragraph. That the fourth one. Interaction among students mainly contributes to students' successes outside the campus in today's digital or global world, but poor communication methods adopted by the department on campus makes it difficult for students to enjoy interacting with each other. So this is such a good problem statement, which can easily be summarized as let me put it this way, a lack of interactivity due to poor information flow. So there's obvious. So basically, the two major problem statements that I got from this 4 bulleted points is one, poor information flow, and then lack of interaction among students, which puts them at a disadvantage in terms of what? Their success. Those are the 2 problem statements that I can capture within all these 4 bulleted points. Now the question is, can you write the entire chapter 2 on just these 2 problem statements? Obviously not. You're not going to have much to write about because you only have 2 problems. Are you catching on, guys?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
There's not much problem statement indicated that this student here or this group here wants to really address. And that's going to make it very, very difficult for them to write their chapter 2. Because now you only have 2 problem statements. And I guarantee you can't write much on just 2 problem statements. Keep in mind that your chapter 2 carries the most weight in your report. So if you only have 2 problem statements, then I guarantee you trying to talk about it, trying to write about 18 to 20 pages, or sorry, 15 to 18 pages on your chapter 2, it's going to become difficult for you. Are we good, folks?
Yep.
Yeah, so there are only 2 problem statements over here. Okay, so that's not going to be a problem in your chapter 2, unless they are strong. Yes, you can have 2 problem statements, but very, very strong enough that you can actually write a whole 20 to 25 pages on it. But I'm looking at what this one over here, I don't really think you can pull off even 10 pages on just 2 problem statements. Okay, so these are not relevant. These are supposed to be, these 2 here should be part of what? The first bullet point in one paragraph. And then second paragraph will be this to indicate your 2 main problem statements. Okay, I'm just summarizing what I'm getting from the from what he's reading. Okay, some of you write long sentences and you can only, which can actually be summarized in just one few lines or one line actually. You know, like all of this here, it's about what? Poor information what? Flow. That's all it is. Okay. Okay, moving on. Now look at the aim. I've said over and over again that the aim is just the title of your report. A title is just all you need over here is a title to design blah 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 blah. Full stop. That's it. Even the template I sent you guys, I wrote over there just the title, and then I get to here. I get to see this. I'm trying to figure out what exactly. No, aims are not supposed to be paragraphs. It's just one line. To design this, to build that, to implement this, to create this, to build a website, blah, blah, blah. That's all. You guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Your aim is just the title of your project. You have to go by to design something because you're all designing something, right? Pretty much all of you are designing something or building something. So it's supposed to be to design, blah, 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 to build, blah, blah, blah. Or if it's an implementation, to implement, blah, blah, blah. That's all you need. Just one line should be the aim. All the other stuff here, the benefits or the implications of the implementation, it's not relevant. Are we good? It's not relevant. And then let's go to objectives. Now, look at this, objectives, and we are still talking about aims. The project aims towards. I thought you were talking about objectives. So why mention aim again? Objectives are supposed to be the actionable processes that you want to undertake to address the aim, which is to build or to develop or to design, whatever. That's where the objectives, that should be objective. There's no need to talk about aims anymore. Are we catching on, guys?
Sir, please, can you take the objectives again?
The objectives are supposed to be the actionable processes that you have to undertake to accomplish your aim. The actionable processes.
All right.
That you want to undertake to basically address or achieve your aim. So in this place over here, you're supposed to be talking about, you get rid of all this stuff. This needs to go. And then you start with either to create something that would allow you to basically accomplish something within your development, to build something, to either do some research or to do some investigation, to observe something, to create something, to implement something. Those are some of the key actionable sentences or beginner sentences that you're supposed to be using to help you put together your objectives. Okay? Maybe to create a dynamic database. So like, let me go through this for instance. So obviously this is completely off, right? Okay, let's go through the bullet point over here. It says, provide through the platform an opportunity for students to receive course-related messages or any other departmental messages. Now, you remember what I said earlier on the platform, your objective is supposed to indicate the how. Over here, he's just trying to provide, he's talking about how the implementation will actually provide some kind of service. But the question is, how do you provide the platform? How do you go about that? That becomes objective. So if you state that to provide through the platform an opportunity, how do you provide through the platform the opportunity for students to receive course-related messages or departmental-related messages? How do you do that? You could try by either designing a messaging platform, an integrated messaging platform that could help with information relay or information transmission that relates to courses or departmental information to students. So that should probably be the objective over there. Because before you can accomplish the messaging system, you must have built something that will do that. So in this place where you're supposed to probably say to build an integrated messaging platform that can assist with what course-related messages or other departmental messages. Yeah, that should probably be the objective. Because you have to create something that would make it possible for the information or for the messages to be what? Relayed to the students or to be communicated to the students. That relates to courses or departmental level messages or information. So whatever would allow you to accomplish this is what becomes the how and the objective, ultimately. Okay? The second one, incorporate a direct message system into the application to give students opportunity to address their concerns. So this and this two here can be fused together as one objective because it's talking about the same messaging platform. So to build, so that's why I use the word to build a dynamic messaging platform that would cover these two bullet points. So I've grouped this into just one objective. Are we good? They're both talking about messaging. Messaging, the same thing, messaging. So obviously they have to be related. So that is just one objective right there. Now this is definitely an objective. This will enable, no, you don't talk about the benefits as an objective. Yeah, the bulleted point, yeah, the objective is supposed to be in bulleted points. As for the objective, it's supposed to be in bulleted points. Okay, that's the question I got over here. And can the objectives be in bullet? Yes, they're supposed to be in bulleted points. So to design something, to create something, to implement something, to execute something, to observe something, those are some of the actionable words that is expected from you to use to put together your objectives. Because that will tell us how, the how part. Okay? Now over here, the benefit is not considered an objective. This is what you gain out of what? The implementation. So that is not a how. As I pointed earlier on, the objectives are what? The actionable processes that you have to undertake to accomplish your aim. This is not an actionable process. This is a benefit. This will enable students to track processes or processing stages of their student loans. That is not an objective. So this gotta go. The same thing applies to the other one too. It would also reduce, no, the benefits are not relevant, are not considered objectives. Don't tell me what a system will provide. Tell me how you're gonna what? Implement a system to provide something within objectives. So like I said, the how part becomes the objective. You telling me it will reduce it would also reduce the enormous pressure. No, it would enable students to track. It's all part of the benefits. So how Make the how the objective.